Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Upper Chichester Board of Commissioners' regular meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for 9/11, as well as recent horrific events of violence that have been around this country and around the world. Thank you. Mr. Needles, roll call.
Commissioner Neary,
Here.
Commissioner Biaco,
Here.
Commissioner Godioso, James Halligan.
Here.
Commissioner Whitaker,
Here.
Commissioner Yudkowsky,
Here.
Michael Sioko,
Here.
and myself, George Needles, present.
All right, thank you. Good evening again, everyone. Can I, okay, public comment. Public comment. You can make your way over to the podium, give us your name and contact information if we need to get in touch with you. And please speak into the microphone.
Okay, can you hear me well? Okay. All right, my name is Jeffrey Davis. I own a property at 1706 Beach Street. And about 14 months ago, it was appraised, I believe, for possible part used by your township. And I think that would be, in fact, I know that would be the best and highest use because it's already serving two different wards or areas, Boothwyn Heights and Gardendale, as a park. I let about 5 people go down there and actually use it to walk the dog in the woods. I spent the last 12, longer than 13 years cleaning that woods out with all the typewriters and stuff, bed liners, everything else, all over the place. And it's profit. Litigation. Given the property that were all appraised as profit, and they were all right in the area. Basically, my property, I believe that has been owned. Actually, people actually use that. Want to ask me a question about it? Maybe. It keeps me healthy and active down there, and also higher. So that's basically.
And Mr. Needles, do you have any feedback? Anyone on the board have any feedback regarding the properties?
Just for the board for context, yeah, the property 1706 Peach Street. It is along the east branch of the Naaman's Creek. Over the past couple of years, the board has been acquiring open space at east branch of Naaman's Creek. We've acquired 4 properties over the past 2 years there. This was one of the properties we were looking at the same time that we were also going through the process to acquire the concrete schoolhouse. So the Ogden Schoolhouse was acquired through Delco Greenways grant funding. The other property was relatively inexpensive and we used capital funding for that. If you remember back when we were looking through this and looking for grant monies to see if this was going to be a project that the township was going to take on, this property was actively listed as a potential for sale as a development site. So it did get put further down the line of priority projects since it was being listed, and we thought we might have to compete with private purchasers. What I would say is that we still have a desire to continue to expand along the east branch of the Namens Creek for the Peach Street Park and in future trail system that we'd like to put in there. However, at this point right now, there are no grant funding opportunities open that would allow us for the kind of funding to acquire something like that. However, DCNR will probably be opening up their grant funding relatively soon. And this could realistically be one of the projects that we float through with the project team to see if this is the best plausible use of those funds to try and acquire this property for Mr. Davis.
One other comment. Property. Trail. Pretty much.
Is the property up for sale?
The property, I have. Basically, I don't.
Okay, so is the property up for sale? You're looking to exclusively sell it to the township? Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so what I would recommend that you do is follow up with George. If you're looking to exclusively work out a potential sale of the property to the township, talk with our manager, then he can relay back any value or cost to us as a board. And then we'll go from there. And it depends on, the cost. We may need to apply for grant funding to acquire the property, which could take some time. So, just keep that in mind. But I would ask that you reach out to George. Okay? All right. Thank you. Yep, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Derek Alliston. I am the president of the Twinnings Village Civic Association. I'm here this evening. I live at 2504 Williams Avenue in Twinnings. Here this evening, in reference to some conversations I've had with some neighbors in reference to a property in our area that the owner of the property is falling on some really hard times. People really issue is they have very severe water leak. It's leaking for almost 3 months now. Contacted the Chichester Water Authority to see if they could help remedy their situation. They said it wasn't a part of their responsibility, that responsibility on the homeowner. I didn't know if the township had anything set in place to help residents who fall into these situations. The leak has now become hazard to the community, safety hazard to the community. As the water is running down the street, it's creating an algae situation. And two people have slipped. As a result. So this year, just wanted to know if there was anything. Any assistance there.
So what's the location?
2,500 block. Big
Whose house?
Big Jim. The house that sits back.
You mean James Anderson? Oh, okay. And what's the issue? What is the leak? Where's the leak from?
But it's coming, you can see it trickling down. Right.
If the water company's saying it's not their responsibility, it's gotta be inside the curb.
Right, so is it,
Inside the curb.
so you don't know, he didn't tell you,
He's been sick.
he's been in the hospital. Yeah, yeah. So you don't know, his mother, I believe his mother still lives there?
Leaving money.
Okay, right, like,
You can only see the leak in the driveway, puddling and then running down the sidewalk. I know penalties and fines on his family won't help remedy the situation. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Questions or comments for the board? Nope, okay, we'll move on to our agenda. I have a few announcements. Oh, thank you, Joe. Like, I am so ready to go, I'm sorry. This is like a countdown, I'm sorry. This is like, I have 3 months left. I'm sorry. How many days? No, Joe knows. How many days do we have, Joe? 112 days, okay. All right, so I'm sorry. Can I have approval of the minutes from the August 14th, 2025 Board of Commissioners regular meeting?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. Thank you. Upper Chichester Township and Upper Chichester Library will be hosting a cash bingo event on Saturday, September 27th, here at Fury Road Municipal Complex. The doors will open at 5:30. Games begin at 7. Tickets are $30 in advance, $35 at the door, and can be purchased here at the municipal building or the library. Also, you can also email recreation@upperchi.org. Upper Chichester Parks and Recreation and Police Departments will be teaming up once again for our award-winning Delco Inclusive Dance. This dance is for Delaware County children K through 21 years of age of all abilities and will take place on Saturday, October the 4th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. This event is free. All costs have been covered by generous sponsors, and that event is here as well. And Upper Chichester Parks and Recreation Department will be hosting its annual, or I should say our annual Community Day on Sunday, October the 5th, here at the field, Fury Road Fields at 12 p.m. Again, visit the website for any additional information regarding vending as well. Okay, that's the end of the announcements. I'll move on to Vice President Rakowski.
Thank you, Madam President. Consider a motion approving payment request number 5 from Ornell Company, Inc. in the amount of $184,372.11 for the Kingsman Park project. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving payment request number 3 from Blue Scope Construction in the amount of $177,677.14 for the Library and Resource Center renovation project. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion?
The last updated date that we got was that the fire department will be out by October 2nd for them to start construction.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a resolution making an application to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development for MAP funding for the Upper Chichester Township Emergency Service Complex feasibility study. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Commissioner Neary.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everybody. Consider a motion activating the Civil Service Commission to administer a civil service test for the position of sergeant in the Upper Chichester Township Police Department. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a motion activating the Civil Service Commission to administer a civil service test for the position of lieutenant in the Upper Chichester Township Police Department. So moved.
Motion and second, any discussion?
Yes, questions. This would, I'm just wondering why we're at budget time and we're adding another position into the police department. We have not had this lieutenant position probably for 25 years or so. It's just another cost that's going to go towards the budget. And if we've been working for the last 25 or 30 years without a lieutenant, what's the need of a lieutenant? Because that's still, we know where the budget was just a few weeks ago. And we know where we need to start. It's a wish list, in my eyes, for a lieutenant. And the cost of that's going to be anywhere probably between $100,000 and $150,000. So those are of the position, because you're going to have somebody, you're going to have a senior person do this, whether it's internally or somebody coming external in the civil service. Why do we need it?
The incremental cost, if it's someone from the department, will be about $8,000 to $10,000. If it's from someone from outside, first off, this is only to set up the test. It doesn't mean that the board is obligated to hire someone as the lieutenant or to promote someone as lieutenant. The police chief is, at an age where we need some type of transition program so that if something happens to them, there is clearly a lead while we're choosing a new police department chief.
So the lieutenant is what you're saying is going to be the next chief.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, God forbid, something should happen to the chief. Maybe somebody runs him over. If you get my gist, Ed. So anyway, so he's hurt and he's not able to function. The person would be able to take over while the board was considering hiring a new chief. And that chief could come from outside the department or inside the department.
But isn't that what Sergeant Jones does as of now? Whenever the chief is out of place, he's second in command now. So why won't we just up him to lieutenant if that's need be? Have one sergeant that we're missing, and then you only need a patrolman, which is less of a cost.
So due to the civil service laws and your ordinance, you can't just give someone a title. You have to offer a test, which this is what this is doing. Once there's a test that's offered, people get to, if they meet certain criteria, they can take the test. And then they would potentially become eligible for the position if the board so chooses to then say, we would like to promote that person to that position. But there has to be a test first.
All right, so we're already acting that now by Sergeant Jones being in charge when the chief is not around. So even if something happened, why wouldn't the sergeant, why does it have to be a lieutenant and not that sergeant that's doing it now? Because why have a test for somebody to come in here thinking they're gonna be hired for lieutenant, and then we say we're not gonna hire them.
It's an internal promotion test. So it's internal people who meet certain criteria to be eligible to take the test.
Okay,
So was there, excuse me, Ed, was there a rationale for why the position was requested to be, tested for? To be reenacted? We haven't had it for several years. What was the rationale? Was there a rationale provided?
So yes, so the
Okay.
rationale is this, we've been working on ways that we can have succession planning in the department in the event of something. And there's, we've had employees in the past who've been offered positions in CID and places like that, that have left.
right, but their position was a sergeant and we promoted somebody or had the test for this, the sergeant test to be able to do that. Now, if we did this, and I understand what you're saying, if internally you have a sergeant that gets the position as lieutenant, then we're gonna go back at, testing for a sergeant now. Does that mean we're gonna open up testing again for another sergeant? We shouldn't need another sergeant. Again.
The intention is if in fact the board chooses to pick up a lieutenant, you have one sergeant position that's currently not filled. That sergeant position is a street sergeant, and that came when Kevin Mitchell retired.
Correct,
And
but
then,
if,
and then your lieutenant would continue to work in the detective unit as the sergeant previously did.
So you're not gonna have to hire nobody, you're just gonna promote somebody.
These are internal tests,
Right.
sergeant tests and lieutenant tests. They're internal
So-
testing. And so the rationale is to have a succession plan in place. So right now we have Sergeant Jones. And then, as George said, we've lost two. We lost Officer Reardon and we lost Officer McNichol to CID, right? Because we didn't have anything higher, probably, right? So had they had the opportunity to be in a higher position, earning a higher salary, maybe we would not have lost them to the county. That's a possibility. So we're creating an opportunity for officers to advance. And this is a test. That doesn't mean that we're going to fill those positions, but right now we do have a vacant sergeant position that should be filled. The lieutenant position may or may not be filled, right? Okay.
But
Correct.
it's just an internal promotion where whoever becomes a lieutenant ain't gonna get replaced as a police officer. So it's.
Right, he said they're gonna be, they're gonna be in the detective position,
Right.
which is where Jones came
It's
from.
not gonna create a vacancy.
Right.
So
how's it not? Because if the sergeant.
we're not gonna
ends up
hire
being-
nobody to replace them.
They're not gonna move internally and somebody else to take a sergeant test, and then you back down another offer. I just got
You,
I just have reservations. Okay, so that scenario plays out. You need a street sergeant. You have a test for that internally, and an officer gets it that's qualified for it because of the test. Now you're short an officer, and now we still have to hire another officer. I don't want it where it's gonna hit the budget of $100,000.
it's not, you currently have an officer who is acting as an acting sergeant, don't we? For one of the shifts. So you're basically formalizing that position. If that same person would win or would have the highest score on the test, then he would just become the sergeant instead of the acting sergeant. So really won't be an increase in the budget for that position. He's already getting that salary. Somebody is already getting that salary as acting sergeant. And the lieutenant, if it's hired internally, will be an increase of $8,000 to $10,000.
I'm just concerned about what happens afterwards. Because then that may affect the budget.
So we have a motion and a second.
Motion and
Right.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
No,
Ayes have it.
Consider a motion approving a real estate tax refund to Russell Roberts for tax parcel folio number 09-00-00506-00 in the amount of $285.67. So moved.
second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving the September trash fee exoneration list. So moved.
Second it.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving the list of bills in the amount of $753,220.47. So moved.
Second it.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a motion canceling the October 2nd, 2025 Board of Commissioners caucus meeting. So moved.
Second it.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Just an announcement that the second 2026 budget meeting will take place on Monday, September 29th, 2025 at 7 PM in the Commissioners' Meeting Room at 8500 Fury Road, Upper Chichester, PA. And that would be the end of my reading.
Thanks, Mr. Neary. Mr. Blacko.
Thank you. Announcement that the Upper Chichester Township will be hosting a free shredding and e-waste event on Saturday, September 27th, 2025, from 9 AM to 12 PM here at the Fury Road Municipal Complex. Please see our website and Facebook page for more information.
Any questions for Commissioner Blacko? All right, moving on to Commissioner Gaudioso.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to consider a resolution approving the escrow release request for project known as 1615 Cherry Street in the amount of $157.29.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
I'd like to make a motion accepting the extension provided by the applicant to Upper Chichester for the 4881 Chichester Avenue Land Development application.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Lastly, I'd like to make a motion accepting the extension provided by the applicant to Upper Chichester for the 801 Bethel Avenue Land Development application.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we'll move on to our professionals report. Commissioner.
Commissioner Emo.
I know, Commissioner Rakowski, Vice Chancellor Rakowski.
You were counting down, aren't you? Thank you, Madam President, again, the EMS report's on file, I'm not sure if everybody got it, because it turned over today, I'm not sure if George has it in the package tonight, if not, I'll forward it over to everybody, emergency management has been in there. Fire marshal, they're changing over their computer system, so once I get that report, I'll flip that over to everybody and then we'll have it on file for the residents. Other than that, that's it.
What? Okay.
That's it. That's it.
What?
Trying to get you out of here.
Commissioner Neary.
Thank you again, Madam President. The financial reports and the police report are available at the office if anyone is so inclined to review them. And I appreciate everybody's help with everything. I did want to mention that the library had an open house last Saturday. I was only able to stop in because I had a funeral to go to, but I only stopped in for about 15 minutes, but it looked like it was being well run. Dawn was there, a few of the other people. And I hope that project moves forward and, you know, very good luck to the libraries. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Commissioner Neary?
Yeah, I just want to echo what Joe said, because I just missed it there when I went to the library.
Mhm.
But there was a couple questions, and I'm not sure where we're at with that. I know we're October 2nd is finally here to get this one started. But there were some ideas that were still iffy. And I told Dawn just to, but some of even the residents were looking at the plans and they were wondering why this wasn't there, and that wasn't there. Do they still have time, or is that, are they, that's it? Because there's some windows on the upstairs that they still should be able to see downstairs, and it doesn't show on the design that was at the firehouse the other day. And I said, well, I asked, I mean, it's, we should be able to see the kids from upstairs with that.
Yeah, I mean, so some of the design elements are that were changed since the initial design there have weren't necessarily reflected in that rendering that was there at this point. I mean, some of the things that we are gonna have another meeting with the library. Some of the things that we need to understand are that, you know, this was all grant funding, right? And grants have things tied to them and they have timelines tied to them too. So, and some major changes may require times that would then make money not eligible to pay for the project. So we're gonna have to balance, and that's what we've been doing, is balancing the wants, the needs with the available money, the way the money's allowed to be used in that. You know, so some of the things, yes, so opening it up as much as possible. However, you know, it is a block building, right? So knowing that, you know, that kind of stuff can cost money. I know there was some talk about where the front door being located out on Meeting House as opposed to turned around the corner. The cost to be able to make that floor ADA accessible, to move that door over there, is cost prohibitive for the project. So these are some of those kind of things. So I think we just need to have another meeting. My hope is that the meeting is a little bit more fruitful and we don't get lost in the weeds of like things that are like, you know, let's talk about the big picture items and see how we can make it all work so we can get this thing done. And see what things, you know, may be things down the line too. You know, all well intentions. I know that, you know, we want to make sure that this is it's a great project. We just have a bunch of things that we're trying to balance here, and, you know, getting this project underway. We got held up a little bit with all the things with the contracts with the various entities, the fire department moving things around. So we gotta, like, we're gonna have to fly at some level. 500,000 of this expires at the end of the year. All the receipts, everything have to be in and expended for. You know, we've got another $1 million of this that's gonna come up real quick that we've got to have it done. So we're gonna move as quick as we can, and we're gonna listen to everybody, and we're gonna do as much as we can. I think things like opening up with larger windows all make sense. You know, but some of the things, it's just going to be impossible due to the location of certain walls and stuff. So we'll have a realistic conversation, what can be done, what can't be done, and how we make it a great project.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, George. I was gonna add that, I did go to the library and I reached out to George about the same thing. So we are setting up a meeting and, to address some of the concerns that Dawn raised about, opening up so it'll be what can be done, what can't be done, and what what we may be able to do in the future. But I did have a question. They did forward over a grant that would need to be applied. Are we looking at applying for the grant for the, furnishings of the interior?
It's been going through that stuff to see if we can qualify. Her and Amy have been working through it, but
Okay.
I do not believe this project's going to be eligible for that.
Okay,
They're also working with a furniture vendor, and they've given them basically the budget of the 250,000 that the library has in the bank account. Said, you know, we need to be able to furnish this for this one, so give us what this would look like. So
gotcha.
they're gonna bring that back to that meeting, so Steve, they're gonna also do the regular, here's all the furniture and where we go.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you. All right. Commissioner Baca?
Thank you. All my reports are on file. If anybody has any questions, I just got one question for you, George. It looks like we finally got Somerset ready to go and take off again.
Was contacted by Vera, where she stated that they have all the signatures finally So I asked and talked to Mr. Karati to coordinate with Andy Donahue, who's the lawyer for that, to kind of go over everything and try to figure out how that can be facilitated.
Now, does that have to be rebid and everything, or?
I believe, I mean, we bid it about 4.5 years ago. So at this point, I think 3, so it's definitely gonna have to be rebid. I'm not sure, if there's any
So-
other changes.
So they couldn't just, Vera said if I have a contractor that can do it, it's still gotta be bid on.
Yeah, I mean, we're expending a considerable amount of public funds on it, yeah.
So it has to be bid.
Yeah.
All right, any questions for Commissioner Baco? Moving on to Commissioner Gaudioso.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, again. All my reports are on file. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. On a personal note, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to the Charlie Kirk's family, for his wife and children, for their loss. I know he was a man of faith, and I ask that we pray for him and our country. We need a lot of prayer, so it touched me personally, but, thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Any questions for Commissioner Gaudioso? All right. Jim Halligan?
The solicitor, I'm sorry, excuse me, the solicitor's report's been submitted. We have nothing to add at this time unless anyone has any questions.
Any questions for the solicitor? Thank you. Mike Sioka.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple quick updates from last week. Birkdale Park Stream Bank Stabilization Project started this week, so you'll be seeing some activity over there. And Johnson Avenue Street Improvements, this is OHCD County CDBG Improvement Project. We had a pre-construction meeting just last week. They're expected to start on September 22nd. We issued the county notice to proceed to get that paperwork in. So you should be seeing them next couple of weeks, so some activity over there as well. That's all I have unless the board has any questions. Tower Circle base. I'm actually tomorrow, I have an inspection with Scaviccio, who's the contractor,
Okay.
so I'll be getting with him on reviewing that.
And you may have answered this already, but what's the anticipated date for Kingsman project to be done? Is there any kind of timeline?
We met. When did we meet? 2 weeks ago. So they were saying
Approximately,
October, end of October.
okay. And you have the Wisner plaque?
I'm sorry?
George.
Oh,
You have that, and that'll be reinstalled, right? Okay, thank you.
I just have one thing, the road program, where we stand with that?
So all the contracts are in. PennDOT did approve the project to move forward. I think it was last week, right before our meeting. And I've reached out to Alan Myers and asked for their schedule. They said they had one of their project managers working on the schedule right now. So I reached out to him again today to see if I could get an update, but I didn't hear back. So I'll keep following up with him next couple of days, but I would expect to hear from him the next few days and get you a schedule.
All right, thank you. Mr. Needles.
Good evening, everybody. Reports are on file. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just a couple quick announcements. We talked about the library, their open house event was well attended. And they had lots of families that came out. They, were able to, lots of families came out to register for library cards, which was great. They gave out free library cards to families, so it was well attended. Folks are excited about the future location of our library. And as mentioned earlier, we're gonna have a follow-up meeting so that we can finalize the designs and get this project moving forward. The Parks and Recreation hosted its second annual Soapbox Derby. We have one of the winners in the audience, Mr. Kelly. So it was well attended. We have more participants. It was really a great event. And was a full house. So we're looking forward to next year. We have already had people that want to sign up to build a car for their company and or personal use, for next year's event. So we're excited about that. And then, I think that's it. That's all I have. Any other questions for me? All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Good night, everyone. Thank you.